Do you know how powerful you are? You are making it possible for the people in your life. We have to believe that we can do it, that we are limitless. So, my topic is actually twofold. We actually have a program at Doctors Hospital called Bridge to the Future. And I'm going to share this in case you have high school students in your life, because it is a program for students who are in the 10th to the 12th grades who are interested in STEM or healthcare. So science, technology, engineering, math, or healthcare. So we have a nursing program for high school students, and I do believe we have some students from Grand Bahama that participate in that program now. And we have Bridge to the Future, which is a STEM introduction program. We are so excited. Next weekend, we will be hosting Simmone Bowe, who will be the first Bahamian to go into space. Yes. She is an astronaut, a female astronaut, descended from the Bahamas. And we are so proud that while she's in the Bahamas, she's going to be able to come and talk to some of our students and inspire them. So we're very excited about that. But I'm going to take this from a little different angle today. Bridge to the future. Women as bridge to the future. So tell somebody at your table, I am a bridge. I am a bridge. Now when I looked at this, because I'm not a techie person at all, so if it was anyone who should not be in STEM, it's me, right? I have no interest in science, tech, engineering, or math. Math was my worst subject in school, and still is. Worst subject in life. I remember going on an interview, Alvi, for this big time HR position, right? And you had to take a test, and they make you do these assessments. And let me tell you, I was there on the internet trying to get the answers to some of those things. And when I finally made it to the interview, the recruiter was like, so Simmone, about that test. I was like, well, I know, I don't have any excuse, right? I'm just not good at it. But I have had to learn, not only as a professional, but also as an entrepreneur, because I have a service-based business, which is consulting and training. I have had to learn to embrace technology, to leverage what I need to do. So I heard my friend over there talking about Canva. Canva has become my best friend. So if y'all don't know Canva, y'all need to get to know Canva. That has caused me to save so much time and money, because I used to have to pay graphic artists to do flyers, to create logos, to do all of these things. Could you lay this book out for me and all of these other things, create this, create that. And these people would charge you $75 a flyer, $150 for a logo. And you could go right into this program. And they have thousands of templates of anything imaginable you could think about that you need to create. This presentation came out of Canva. The graphics are crisp, the images are beautiful. You can upload things that you have of your own, so you can customize it, personalize it, all of those things. So I have had to learn how to embrace technology to leverage business. Now, ChatGPT and all of that I had heard about, but I must say that because of my aversion a little to technology, right? I'm like, another thing? That's like how people telling me, you need to get on TikTok. You got to get your videos on TikTok because you could blow up. And I'd be like, another thing? Like, I don't want to have to download another app to my phone. Like, really? Another thing to think about, But I have become to appreciate the value of this whole AI situation. right? Because I've seen the way it can make it so much better. In actual fact, a lot of the apps that we're using now incorporate it to make it easier. So even in Microsoft, I noticed when you download, say if you download a PowerPoint presentation, they actually have a presentation coach. So it will record you doing your presentation, talking over your slides, and then give you feedback on how you did. Isn't that amazing? So these things are here to help us to be better. I have some concerns too. I have concerns about it making us lazy, right? Now, sometimes our brains are tired. Like my brain can sometimes be tired. And so I'm helpful when AI can perhaps help me tweak my wording, give me some vocabulary that I wasn't thinking about before. I'm concerned about the ethics of it. And I was happy, I'd love to chat with you more to hear about some of the do's and don'ts that your organization has put in place, because I think that's important. With every good thing, we need guidance, right? We need parameters in which to operate. I always say that we only have rules and laws for people who break them. Isn't that true? For people who can self-manage and self-govern, you don't need rules. You don't need to read the employee handbook. You don't need to read the act or the legislation on it, because you're going to govern yourself. Because you know what is right and what is wrong. But we need to have rules for those people who love to break them. So now when we talk about being a bridge, I said all of that to say that I had to do a little bit of reading about bridges. And one of the definitions that struck me about being a bridge, or understanding what a bridge is firstly that it's a structure. And then it's a structure that can carry weight. Somebody say carry weight. It is a structure that carries weight over an obstacle. It is a structure that carries weight over an obstacle that may have previously been impossible to pass. I'm saying this definition very slowly because I want it to sink in. It's a structure. It carries weight. It creates a pathway over an obstacle that would have been previously impossible to pass. Now, when I tell you again to say, I am a bridge, I want you to think about it in that context. I am a bridge. So that means then, ladies, that we have an immense responsibility, whether we are a parent or not, to have structure in our lives, right? We can't just live from day to day thinking that we're just living for ourselves. I am approaching retirement, and I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be saying that. My knees remind me of that every day. And when I talk to some of my classmates and they say, yes, you know, I can't just pop up out of my chair anymore. I said, I thought it was just me. I gotta like stand there and my knee gotta catch up with the rest of my body. I'm like, okay, all right. But it just tells us how fast time goes by. And so now I have to start thinking about things that weren't as important to me anymore. But I got to think about retirement and what I'm going to do, not about activity, but what am I going to do financially? How am I going to prepare for the future of my child and her future? I am her bridge. I am her pathway of pioneering through some things to make it more possible for her to pass over. That's heavy, isn't it? So we have to understand that And this is kind of to bring all of what we've heard today into focus and into context, to kind of sum it all up. That we have to be the bridge for the people in our lives, for the communities that we live in. We have to be the bridge because we are making ways where it may have previously been impossible for them to pass. And all of us have this story. For some of us, everybody in our family may have had a job, gone to college, had a business, but that's not everybody's story. For some of us, you may be the first in your family to accomplish what you've accomplished. You may be the first to own a home. You may be the first to have a professional career. You may be the first to have made investments. You may be the first to open and run your own business. Whatever that thing is that you have done, you are making it possible for the people in your life to cross over. So I want to share a few things that relate to our belief system. That's what Fantasia talked about. Finally, I believe. And that has really been a great challenge for me in my life. Because, I don't know if you've ever done the 5 love languages. Have you ever done that test to know what your love language or your love languages are? But one of the love languages is words of affirmation, where you like to hear people saying positive things to you. That's one of my love languages. But I realized that people would say positive things to me, but I didn't really believe them. So people can tell you, wow, that's a brilliant business idea. And you'd be like, really? That's like when people come up to us as women and say, I love your outfit. And what is our response? Instead of saying thank you, this whole thing? You know how long I had this? Child, I picked this up for like $20. Like the people didn't ask you all of that. Just say thank you. Why? Because we can't receive it. We can't receive the compliment. So if we are going to get out there and be successful at anything we choose to do, we have to believe that we can do it, that we are limitless. I find a lot of times when I work with people, whether through training or coaching, we have to work with the mindset first to get people to see that there are limitless possibilities. And it's so easy to look at what's going on around us in our lives and say, you know what, I'm going to define my box by everything that's going on around me. And we let our environment determine the size of our sandbox that we play in. It's easy to look at that Grand Bahama because you could say our economy is depressed. And we have marked our territory by the disasters that have happened to us. And it's not to diminish the disasters if they have been horrible things. But we can't let it define us. This is what resilience tells us. When we are resilient, it means how quickly can I bounce back from the last hardship I had? I'm not defined by it. It's just shaping me. It's building my bounce back muscle. It's giving me grit so that I know that I can do more. I can be more. I can bounce back. A lot of businesses shut down after COVID, during COVID. Some at the very beginning, some in the middle, some at the end. Some you never thought would close down. But what we also saw is the resilience of people who created new businesses in COVID. Because of COVID, we have some businesses thriving in Nassau, and I think they have a presence here as well. Like, for instance, Craven, right? The delivery app. Like, who would have thought that we would have had a food delivery app in the Bahamas? But that was somebody who saw an opportunity and took advantage of it and leveraged technology to do it. Because I could tell you there's another delivery company in Nassau that does the same thing, but they haven't leveraged the technology to the point that that other company has. And so I wonder if people actually can rip them off. And here's why. With the one that completely leverages the app, you have to place your order in the app and pay for the order in the app. So once they bring everything to your door, it's all paid for. With the other one, you may call the vendor, put your order in. They go to pick up your order, no money has changed hands. So they could show up, I could take the food, I could say, okay, I'm gonna pay with my credit card. They don't stand there with a card machine for me to pay. They send me a link to my email later. I could play crazy and say, well, I never got that email. I've already eaten the food, tastes good. You don't know that. So technology can leverage business and success, but we have to believe that we're able to do it. We may have all heard this line before. They even made a movie out of it. The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. This was a poem that was written by William Ross Wallace in the 1900s. So he realized from way back then how powerful the female is in the world. And as Howard said to us earlier, women have founded nations. Because they may have given birth to leaders. They may have nurtured leaders. I heard somebody say once, and I never thought about it. What is the name of the lady that led Billy Graham to Christ? We don't know her name, but we know the impact that he has had on the world as it relates to evangelism. Do you know how powerful you are? So I want to tell you, what is on the other side of your fear? And Howard mentioned a couple of these things. Fear will cripple us and stop us from reaching our full potential. Fear will cause us to believe that we cannot do what we are fully able to do. Fear will tell us that you look stupid, sound stupid, your idea is stupid, so just stay in your seat. Fear will cause you to stay in a place that you think is comfortable, but it really isn't comfortable, because that's why you are uncomfortable in that comfortable place. Because if it were so comfortable, you wouldn't feel at dis-ease. You wouldn't feel like, this isn't enough for me. I want more. And you know what we do? We think, well, maybe I just need to get another job. And we go and find our way over, oh, that's my time, lady. Okay. And we think, okay, let me dust my resume off. I got to go on to another job. And we'll go on that job and we'll be there maybe a year. And then we feel that thing again. Why? Because there's something else that you're not fulfilling and that you know what it is. But fear is causing you to not pursue that thing. So on the other side of your fear is growth. And guess what? Growth is a painful process. Growth hurts. Growth is not pretty. So when you think about it, and I don't have a green thumb either, so I'm just using this example that I've heard about and seen pictures of. Okay? But when you think about putting a seed in the ground, that seed has to be in that dark, enclosed, lonely place. Trusting that someone is going to put water on it and put whatever nutrients that are needed to help it to grow. And when it is too big for the space that it's in, I hope you hear me well. When the thing that supposed to pop out of the ground, when in that stage, it's too big for the casing of the seed, what does it do? What does it do? It pushes out, right? It breaks the case. And then what does it have to do? It has to push up out of the dirt. And then it has to spread and grow. And guess what? It can spread and grow, and then there's another phase of growth that has to happen. What is that for all the people who have a green thumb? Prune it. So you could grow and grow and grow, but then there may be some leaves on it that are dead. Some things that aren't contributing anymore. Some things that aren't receiving life anymore. And they have to be cut off. Some things that aren't advancing the growth. Hello, somebody. And they have to be cut off. So growing is a process. Growing is painful, but growing is necessary. We love to talk about going to the next level. But we never understand what that requires. They'll say they always passing over me for promotion. Hey, RV, and they always telling us that in HR. They ain't fair. You know how long I've been here? How have you added value in the time that you have been here? How have you prepared yourself for the next level? Because one of the ways that I make money in my business is how to train people how to lead. So that means we have a whole lot of people in management who don't know how to be no manager. But they crave that title. They crave that status. But they don't know the first thing about managing processes or people. So when you talk about growing and making progress and striving and wanting to go to the next level, you got to prepare for that, buddy. Because that next level is going to require a version of you that you haven't even seen yet. My colleague over there, Kendra Sturrock, Assistant Vice President of the Northern Bahamas operation of Doctors Hospital. Y'all give her a hand, man. She is a real superwoman. I don't know how she does it. She is managing the entire operation over here in Grand Bahama. She has children. She is married. She really is doing it all. But I'm sure that she could tell you that when she started a doctor's hospital, she's a CPA. Her thing was finance and audit and all these other things. I talk in all your business. But I was with her yesterday and members of the team as we were doing a site inspection of the new hospital. I'm listening to her like rolling off all these not only medical terminologies, but construction and all that. And I was like, wow, I was amazed. Just standing there and listening to her, because that's growth. This responsibility has stretched her beyond, I'm sure, even she thought she could be stretched. To be managing a renovation project, to install a multi-million-dollar hospital on this island. This isn't anything she's done before. But she's doing it. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. On the other side of your fear, then comes confidence. We heard Alvi say, man, I am not a public speaker. Well, you are now. So I hope all of you start to invite her to come and talk. She's usually the one inviting others to come and talk. But it's in her. And sometimes you have to do it afraid in order to recognize that you can do it. We were talking about this earlier. Sean and I were like, you know what? As much as you come up and do it, you will always be afraid, you know. You will always have that feeling of nervousness, of wondering, how will they receive me? Will I make sense? Is this thing going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? But then once you get in it, you just start to flex your muscle. And every time you do it, that muscle gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you get stronger and stronger and stronger. But if you stay on that fearful side, you'll never know what you're capable of. On the other side of your fear is all of the success that you have defined for yourself. Success is different for everybody, you know. Society has caused us to believe that success is only pretty much one thing, having a whole lot of money and living like the housewives of ... And to me, they're not real models of what I would want to be as a housewife. Not to say that I don't mind now. I wouldn't mind being a kept woman. But I would certainly make better use of my time and the disposable income that I have than trying to pull other women down and fuss and fight and carry on. But success is different for everyone. Because success can be that I've completed that training that I said I wanted to do, that I've completed that degree, that I've applied for that job, that I started the business, that I'm making more time for my family. I just heard of that athlete that just retired. And she said she retired because she sacrificed so much time being an athlete that now she wants to spend that time with her family. So she's already attained what she felt she needed to attain in sports. Now success looks different for her. And that's how life is. In every season of your life, success is going to look different. Success for me is being able to get out of the chair and walk. Hello? To come up on these stairs unassisted. Hello? Every stage of life is going to look different. So here I am to tell you again that you are the bridge. You are the structure that people in your life need, and people who are watching you, who you may not be aware are watching you. Just like your niece, who is watching you do business, watching how you talk to people, watching how you spend, watching how you live your life. You're the bridge, the structure that's needed to create the pathway to your future and to theirs. So here are a few other things that I want to share and declare to you that you are. You are an incubator. Now, when I looked up what an incubator does, technically it's an apparatus that helps prematurely born or small babies to be in a controlled and protected environment to help them grow. As women, we are incubators. If we've had children, it means, our womb is an incubator. It is the place where that seed grows and grows and grows until it's too big for that environment and has to come out into the world. We are the incubator of our dreams, and we are the incubator of other people's dreams. And so often we hear stories of women who kill the dreams of other people. Boys, girls, men, and women. Some husbands say, my wife doesn't believe in my dreams. And how does he know that? Because of the words that come out of her mouth. Mary was not only the incubator for Jesus, but she was the incubator of the prophetic word that came to her before it happened. It said that she took it and she pondered it in her heart. And then at the appropriate time, she sought out a like-minded person to share the vision with. Hello, somebody. You are an incubator. Incubate your dream.